Which is me?
Vilasat Kadama Mula Lambi Samvita Pita Charupata Radam Vilokya Muralim Kwanayan Brindavana Hari Jayati Radam Vilokya Muralim. Vilokya, when the Radha's eyes see the Murali, her special eyes, how does she look? Vilokyam? Radha Vilokya Murali. Just glorify Sri Hari, who is standing underneath a Kadamba tree. Kadamba Mool, at the base, the root of a Kadamba, Vilasat. He's standing there just twiddling his fingers. No, he's waiting for Vilas to enjoy intimate pastimes with Radhika. And he's dressed in an enchanting yellow garments, who is engaged in watching the movements of Sri Radha. Well, that's just that's a little interlude. He's telling about the glories of Vrindavan, as we heard in the introduction. Sometimes he's saying the parrots were so wonderful and the peacocks, and he said, oh, look, under the Kadamba tree, Krishna's standing there with his murli pressed to his lips, and he's casting sidelong glances, and Radha's looking at him from a distance. And she's ready. His eyes are saying, "Come to me. Let's have vilas." Radharani is moving closer. With every glance, Krishna takes at Radha. She moves closer to him and closer to vilas. So he's seeing all this in his sporty, and he's just, "Oh, what am I seeing?" And he comes out of the sporty. Oh, and it's so nice, so beautiful, and he composed it all in beautiful poetry, so we can someday see it in our mantra upasana and our purity of consciousness. So we can see all these things. Chapter 5, verse 36. Amula Druma Jati. Amula, this is page 167. Amula Druma Jati Vistrita Mahasu Snigda Sakavatam. Vrikshana Mati Divya Pushpa Fal Sambramar Manoharani Harinam. Aruya Dwayam Eva Kotuka Bharat Tadgora Nilam Maha Sakayatra Chintoti Kelati Tad Eva Dhyami Vrindavanam. I meditate Dhyami Vrindavanam on Vrindavan, which is enchanting due to being filled with transcendental flowers, fruits and other items, where the fair and dark complexioned divine young couple happily pick flowers, leaves, and twigs from the branches of the parijat, jati, and other fragrant flowers. So, of course, anyone who lives in Vrindavan or is moving to Vrindavan, they think, I don't know where all those flowers are and all those trees are. There used to be so many flowers growing on the banks of the Yamuna for hundreds of years, opposite Madan Mohan, but now there were some floods last year. Now they're developing all that land on the Yamuna, which is actually Yamuna floodland that's being illegally sold and developed. And the Malis that sell flowers outside Vrindavan temple, they're buying the flowers in Mathura from somewhere else. They're not Yamuna, they're not Vrindavan flowers, the proverbial Vrindavan flowers, incense. So it's all those beautiful gardens are gone there. And many of the temples near Madhavan colony and different places, they have Radharaman Bagicha and Banki Bihari Bagicha. They have the big gardens where they grow flowers, Deity gardens. And Sri Ranganath Bagicha probably used to walk there. In the morning he would get in his car sometimes and drive down to the southeast part of Vrindavan town and walk in the gardens of Sri Rangaji. And the many flowering trees there. Very nice place even today. So when we had opportunity, we thought we would like to create some transcendental atmosphere, some garden, like the old days of Vrindavan. There was big, big walls. All the land in Ramanreti, when I first came up until the 80s and early 90s, it was all big, big walls, not big, big ashrams, big, big walls. And then inside in the corner somewhere, in the back corner, there was 2 or 3 little kutirs, 3 or 4 in a row, and a hand pump. And some Babajis there staying, renunciates. And the whole big garden, and half their day, their seva was to they had, with bricks, because they didn't have much money, so they got bricks. They would make a round, like a ras mandala, and then they'd have a kadamba tree and tamal, so many beautiful trees, hundreds of parrots and peacocks. All those places, now it's called Bhakti Dham, and all these places all back there. All that area around Krishna Balaram, behind, all the way to the Jamuna, was ashram. And it was really beautiful just to stumble in there. They just had walls, there were hardly any gates. You can just walk into the ashram, walk around and see the tulsi growing there. And such a natural, so beautiful natural place, very captivating and memorable. I have many impressions in my consciousness of seeing these beautiful sights of Ramanreti. Of course, now they're mere memories. But when we had opportunity to get a little piece of land, we had the desire to make a nice bagicha full of the traditional Vrindavan flowers that you read about in all the shastras. So we have Parijat here, and we have Madhavi here, and we had what they call jati is juhi. We have juhi and mogra and gulab, and we also have kunda flower. We just planted kunda. We always read about Krishna's teeth are like a mukunda. So this is a very beautiful description here of the glories of Vrindavan, transcendental flowers, fruits, and other items. So we have these champak trees that we have, they're all transcendental. And that's why we are going to so much trouble to keep out the non-transcendental entities, like the monkeys of Vrindavan. And if they're outside of my garden, they're transcendental. But if they're inside and we'll give them yogurt and everything. But if they're inside my garden, then they're enemies. So we have to chase them away, because they're not Radha and Krishna. Because they break all the branches, and within 1 hour they can ruin your garden that took 7 or 8 years to develop. They're really like that, destructive. Because, Panchamukh Hanuman, Panchamukh Shiva. So Shiva's expansion is 11 Rudras. So their activity is destruction. So I guess the expansion of the Rudras in the Hanuman form is the monkeys. And the monkeys love to destroy things. As you know, when Ram attacked Lanka, then Sugriva and Hanuman, they really did their monkey thing. They just destroyed everything. And they loved it. Monkeys love to destroy things. There's usually if people are in Rajagun, they're really Rajasic, then they're also really Tamasic. They're like brother and sister. They love to passionately run around, do things, and they love to sleep like bears, because they get all the energy to run around passionately. But thinking or discrimination or meditation or higher godly thoughts are not part of their makeup. So the monkeys, you read about the monkeys when they trash the gardens and Ravana. So those same parampara monkeys of Hanuman are trashing gardens even today. One Brahmin in Vrindavan, he said there's 2 paramparas of monkeys. There's the Asura parampara, Asura Bandhur parampara, and the Sura. The demon parampara of monkeys, and the devotee parampara. The devotee parampara descends from Hanuman, and the demoniac parampara monkeys descends from Duvida gorilla. and he's in Krishna book. Chapter 17, and what page is that? 5. Chapter 17, verse 5. Iham Brahmam Imam Brahmam Jagati Nahi Gando Pi Kalito Yadiyas Tatrai Vyakila Nigama Nirlakshya Sarano Apare Sri Vrindavana Mahimam Piyusha Jalado Mahascharya Unmilana Madhuri Mani Chitam Lagato Me. Oh my God. Madhuri Mani Chitam Unmilan Madhuri Mani. See the mum. Ma, mi, ma, ha, mahashcharya, unmilanam, madhuri mani chitam, lakatu me. The glories of Vrindavan are just like an ocean of nectar. Where is that ocean of nectar? Acha, Jalado. Shri Apare, an unlimited ocean, the unlimited glories of Vrindavan. Apare Shri Vrindavana Mahima Piyusha Jalado. Piyush means nectar, huh? Ado or Abdi means ocean of Jal. Piyusha Jalado. Piyusha Maha Ascharya, most amazing, wonderful. Even if one wanders throughout the universe, one cannot find a tinge of the glories of Braj. Vrindavan is full of many wonderful, sweet waves, and is almost unavailable through all the Vedic literatures. You can't find in the Vedas. Nigama. And the Agamas. Nigama Durlakshya Sharano. Agamas. And the Agamas, there's something called the Agamas. There's Nigama. You can't find Akila Agamas or in the Akila Niyagama. Durlakshya. You can't find shelter. You can't find the shelter of all the characteristics. They're very far hidden. The intimate, confidential characteristics and qualities of Vrindavan are hidden in the Vedas. Durlakshya. I am most fortunate and always restless. Mani Chittam. O Lord, may my mind remain absorbed in the glories of Sri Vrindavan day and night. Unmilan, Madhuri Mani, Chittam. Ascharya, where's Ascharya? It's most amazing. The most amazing and wonderful Ascharya. Verse 36, same chapter. (605) Tat Shastra Mama Karnamulam. No, you're there? Tat Shastra Mama Karnamulam Apina Swapne Api Jayadaho Shri Vrinda Vipanasya Yatra Mahima Nati Adbhuta Shriyate Te Me Dristi Patam Nayantu Nitaram Sambashyata Mapunya Ye Vrindavana Vaibhav Shruti Gate Nulasinas Te Kala. May the statements of those scriptures that don't describe the supreme glories of Vrindavan never enter my ear holes. Any scriptures that don't describe the glories of Vrindavan, I don't want to hear about them. Forget it. This is his intense attachment. I never see or converse with persons who do not feel happy after hearing the glories and qualities of Vrindavan. He's fixed, that's for sure. That's like Bhakti Thakur. In one song he says, anyone who says they're not interested in Radharani, I don't want to see their face. They're not interested in hearing the name of Radharani or hearing the glories of Radharani. I never want to associate with them. I want to stay very far away from them. I don't even want to see them. This is the intensity of attachment that Kamala Manjari Bhaktivinoda Thakur has for his Swamini Radha. Text 115, same chapter. Mahascharayan anantaswa mahim baladeva sakala damasya pashyanam vyatikar masambhayavyam apime kada brindarayanasha basati kata matra pavahat kripa puram sampurayato paratapi arbulajane. Although I am the most fallen and wretched person, an impossible desire is day and night constantly appearing in my heart. May the land of Vrindavan, just by residing in which all one's ambitions are fulfilled, shower mercy on me and help me fulfill my desires by allowing me to reside here for millions of lifetimes. This is the general bhav and mentality of Brijbasis, people that are born here and their fathers are born here and their grandfathers. They would like to live here for millions of lifetimes. The author is saying that I don't mind. My only desire is I reside in Vrindavan for millions of lifetimes. So we'll continue there tomorrow. Vrindavan Mahimamrita class. We're just finishing the last couple of verses describing the particular glories of Sri Vrindavan. Text 120 and text 121 of Shataka 17, chapter 17. Text 120. Yadapi chamama nasti Srila Vrindavaniye Mahimanina samorde hanta vishvasagandha Yadapi chamama tasmanasti vasai shana api prasaratu mamata trisyeva vanita tapi. The unprecedented glories of Sri Vrindavan are incomparable. Vrindavan is beyond the jurisdiction of the Vedic literatures. There is nothing superior or equal to the glories of Vrindavan. All animate and inanimate inhabitants of Vrindavan are supremely glorious. I am so unfortunate that I have no faith in such statements, and I do not develop a taste for residing in such a land. May everyone bless me, so that I can always glorify the topics of Vrindavan through my speech. Saraswati Pad, Prabodhananda Saraswati. He's praying for a blessing that he can always glorify Vrindavan. Nam Mahima, Rup Mahima, Lila Mahima, Da Mahima. This is Vishwas Ganda, Hanta Vishwasa Ganda. He's saying, alas, he says, I don't even have a Vishwas Ganda. I don't even have a Ganda, a scent, even the fragrance or the smell, the scent of faith in the statements which glorify Vrindavan. So of course, Saraswati Pad is not speaking about himself, but he's speaking about us. He's speaking for us, that we, as doubting persons we are, skeptics and doubtful persons, when we hear the extraordinary glories of Sri Dham Vrindavan and all the Brijvasi residents therein, be they birds or bees or trees or creepers. We wonder the validity of such statements, and we may think it's hyperbole or exaggeration, and not accept those statements as being factual or accurate renditions of the truth. So that's considered to be an unfortunate situation. Hanta, hanta, alas, alas. And he's saying that I don't have any taste, or nasti vas ayashana. I have no desire to even live there. At any rate, please somehow bless me that I can always glorify the topics. Text 121. Achaitanya prayam jagadidam aho sarvavidapi pratiyat Sri Vrindavana mahamaviti jadamati aho brahmya drishtya vividasat asat vartmasu tata napurnam tasyeva dhruvam ihanisheve padaraja. Translation: the majority of the people in this world are devoid of spiritual consciousness. Even those who are famous as learned are also illusioned by Maya. Their impure minds are unable to appreciate the glories of Vrindavan. Their desires have not been fulfilled, even after traveling forever on the path of piety and impiety. Surasat Vartmasu Tata. Alas, now by the mercy of Sri Krishna, I will make my life successful by serving the land of Vrindavan. Purnam tasyeva dhruvam ihanasheve padaraja. The dust, the Raj, Braja Raj, Pada Braja Raj, Nisheve, Ni Seva, and very special seva I will do to the dust of Vrindavan. Such a glorious place that he's considering it the success of life, that his life will become perfect and complete if he can somehow serve Vrindavan. How to serve Vrindavan? Glorifying Vrindavan, cleaning Vrindavan, writing about Vrindavan, worshipping Vrindavan, bringing other people to Vrindavan, taking them on yatras, showing the holy places of Vrindavan, describing the pastimes. These are all means of making one's life successful by serving the land of Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki jai, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopi Nata Madana Mohan, Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan, Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan. So now we're going to read about the Brijvasis.
Two are made here, and she made garlands here.
Some verses from the Saraswati Pad is describing how all the Brijvasis, no matter what type of form or body they have, they're all chinmoy, spiritual and transcendental. There are two verses from Shatak 17, verse 42 and 43, if you have your books there, you can open.
Where on
In the English book, it's page 608. Bhutam, this is 42. Bhutam stavara jangamatmakamaho yatra pravishtam kim apiyan nan daika ganakriti samaha sanityat yotsavam basate mayandi krita Dristi Bishtu Kalitam Nana Vikalpatmana Tadbrinda Vipinam Kadaha Kada Adi Vashita Snan Metanu Shinmayi. Translation. Alas, it is indeed wonderful that the beasts, birds, men, women, trees and creepers of Vrindavan, they possess bodies made of spiritual bliss. Spiritual bliss, ananda. They are always jubilant and happy and joyful on account of their own glories and influence. Yet, unfortunate people who are controlled by the illusory energy of Krishna see Vrindavan Dham as a mundane material place. O Lord Hari, Kada, when will my body, when will my body become spiritual simply by residing in Vrindavan? Text 43. Yatra pravishta sakalapi jantu sarva padartha api buddhe ardishya swananda sachit nanatam upayati tadeva vrindavanam ashraya metu. Saraswati Pad goes on to extol the virtues of Vrindavan. If any living entities, including worms, ants, or any objects, auspicious or inauspicious, somehow attain an opportunity to enter the land of Vrindavan, that's pretty rare. Yatra pravishta sakala apijantu. Then they automatically transform into Satchidananda, or eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. These unprecedented glories of Vrindavan are incomprehensible to foolish people. Therefore, intelligent persons, please take shelter of Vrindavan. Tadeva Vrindavanam Ashraya Metu. Metu means intelligent. If one is actually intelligent, he'll immediately do Vrajashraya, Vrindavan Ashraya. He'll take shelter of Vrindavan and live his life there, dedicated to the center of all existence. That is Sri Krishna and his eternal service. And tell, O intelligent persons, please take shelter of Vrindavan Dham ki jai. This is from the 15th Sataka, verse number 92. This is about the chokidars, or the guards protecting Vrindavan, the very fierce and dangerous guards. Navaikunt, text 92, chapter 15. Chapter 15 is a little better ahead here. Chapter 15, verse 92, page 551. Shirada Paradevata Navalata Geheshu Nityasita Shaman Keka Vibhushana Lalitaya Swike Sada Sevita Vrindata Vyati Durga Mohana Puram Tatsta Kilam Sainikam Yasya So Bharada Shriyap Yakalita Shivavarjuna. The transcendental queen of Vrindavan, Srimati Radha Rani, eternal resides in a beautiful cottage of newly sprouted creepers. Navalata Griha.
I did sleep all night.
The lap of Krishna. Here we have the life adoption policy. Adopt Krishna's lap. The lap of Sri Krishna is her special decoration. In other words, Radha sits on Krishna's lap. Although it appears that she's decorating his lap, actually he is her decoration. Radha is continuously served by maidservants under the direction of Lalita. Vrindavan is the residence of Vrindavan. Sri Vrindavan is her residence, Lalita, and is more secure than a fort. All objects of Vrindavan are her security guards. So every single object in Vrindavan, if we don't have Radha Bhav or pure Seva Bhav, that will have to be slowly attained. So he's saying that all the objects of Vrindavan are Radharani's security guards. And this Vrindavan awards the highest transcendental love of God, which is unseen even by Lakshmi. And this verse is 495. Saraswati Pad is explaining how everyone should view the living entities from the lowest social position or philosophical understanding to the highest demigod in the universe who have partial darshan of Krishna's Braj Leela, Indra, Brahma, Chandra, Surya, etc. So how exalted are the Brijvasis? So this is chapter 4. Verse 5. It's explaining how they all want to offer obeisances. Krishna prema sthira rasatma sakalam brindavana tatkatim sarvam stansu Vaishnu chidganam ato rupa tavadli tavabiti api krisham atvam tyaktva samasta payakalano no loko dharm arikeshu. translation to 492, or it's rather, 495, about obeisances to all the living entities in Vrindavan. We should do that and tolerate everything. Ananta Swayam Jyotirananda Dohan Ananta Lasat Radarangam. Ananta Swayam Jyotirananda Dohan Anantesha Bhutya Kritanjala Yupetan Sada Nomi Vrindadavi Sarva Bhavan. I offer my respectful obeisances to all Vrindavans inhabitants, unlimited, so you can't see. The inhabitants are unlimitedly effulgent. They enjoy unlimited happiness. They are eternally attached to the service of Radha and Krishna. They are unlimitedly glorified by the controllers of the universe and other great personalities. Some prayer offering obeisances to all the living entities. Chapter 4, verse 95. Ananta Swayam Jyotira Ananda Dohan Ananta Tola Sat Krishna Radhanuragan Anantesha Bhuya Kritanjal Yupetan Sadanami Vrinda. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Brijvasis, inhabitants of Vrindavan, who are unlimitedly effulgent and who enjoy unlimited happiness. Brijvasis are unlimitedly attached to Radha Govinda Seva. And they are unlimitedly glorified by the controllers of the universe and other great personalities. The Brijvasis are unlimitedly attached to the service of Radha and Krishna, and they are unlimitedly glorified by the controllers of the universe and other great personalities. So we've been reading about the glories of the Brijvasis. And you have your book, and this is chapter 16, verse 81. We can look at that verse. If you have your book, Vrindavan Mahimamrita by Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. And that's on page 584. Pumartas chatvara dishi dishi virayanjali putam stita sevotsukyad bhajati cha vibhutir bhagavata amandan anandad abdi pluta madhura brindavana vane sada radha krishna smarati rati sarena sakriti. Seems more that it's about the forest, the glories of the forest. It says Brijvasi's relationship with Radha and Krishna. Maybe it's got the wrong verse here. Anyway, for a pious person who lovingly meditates on Sri Radha Krishna in a forest of Vrindavan, which is drowned in the ocean of excessive transcendental happiness, one who is meditating on Radha and Krishna Vrindavan, then what will happen to him? Then the Chatur Purushartha, the four objectives of normal human beings, namely Dharma, Art, Kama, and Moksha, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, stand before him with folded hands, and all mystic perfections begin to serve him. Smaran kanchit sevama akila, janasangam pariharan, sadaradet yamala sukriti kopi jayati. Only the pure-hearted, pious soul who desires to engage in some particular service of Krishna and who gives up association with worldly people, janasangam pariharan, and who constantly chants Radha, 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 he is able to reside in Vrindavan. Sada Radha. Smaran kanchit sevama. So those that are meditating on a particular seva, smaran manasi seva, or smarana seva, in their minds are thinking of different sevas and desiring and meditating on different services to Radha and Krishna Vrindavan. If such a person gives up the association of worldly materialistic people and constantly chants Radha, Radha, or Radhe, Radhe, then he is able to become a Brijvasi. So it's the thinking and it's the acting. What is your desires? So your physical being, what is your physical body doing, and what's your mental body doing? My physical body with my physical tongue and ear, I'm chanting Radha, 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 Radha. Radha, 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 Radha. So someone is always chanting, no matter where they are, very soon they'll find themselves living in Vrindavan. If that's their chanting externally, Radha, Radha. But then what is their mind doing? What is their smaran and itcha? What are they remembering and what are they desiring? Well, it says akila. Akila means one only. Akila. That one person who janasanga pariharan. Haran means to take, he runs away from, like hari, to steal. He gives up association with janasanga, associating with ordinary people. He's not interested. That akila, that one person, whose mind his mental body, his mind is always remembering Krishna and remembering some service and desiring some service. And if he chants Radha, Radha, then Krishna says, what are you doing? Come to Vrindavan and serve me. Serve Radha. 61. Sarvaduka dasha gora varam vrindavanestu me prakritat prakritya shesha vibhutirapi nanyata. The author says, Saraswati Pad says, I would rather suffer grave miseries in Vrindavan, living in Vrindavan, and suffer sarva duk dasha gora. Gora means horrible. Gora. Horrible, miserable. Dasha. Miseries in Vrindavan. Then pray for worldly and transcendental opulences elsewhere. So he's saying, I'd rather live in Vrindavan and Brajabhumi and suffer horrible, intense miseries than pray for the vibhutis, Vaikuntha vibhutis. He's saying the transcendental opulences. There's 4 kinds of liberation to Vaikuntha, and one of them is called Sharsti, Samipya, Sharsti, Salokya, Sarupya, Mukti, 4 kinds. One is Sharsti, to have the same wealth as Vishnu, super wealthy and super, huge palace and so much gold. That's called Sharsti. So that's an opulence, Vibhuti. He says here Vibhuti. He says, what does he say? Not Vibhuti. Yeah, Vibhuti. Vibhuti means opulences. So he says, I don't want any worldly, prakrita. I don't want prakrita prakrita Vibhuti or aprakrita, you see? Aprakrita or aprakrita. Prakriti means material. So prakriti means material. And we say the aprakrita or aprakat lila or aprakrita. There's 2 ways to say it. Aprakrita lila means the transcendental pastimes. When we say aprakat, it means it's not prakash, it's not manifest. It's there. It was here, it was prakat 5,000 years ago, now Krishna's lila is aprakat. It's aprakat, not manifest. So he's saying, I don't want any prakriti vibhuti, I don't want any opulence of this material world, be the richest man in the world or anything. Education, opulence of education, fame, name, anything. I just want to live in Vrindavan, to that extent. I'd rather suffer here than enjoy in Vaikuntha. I'd rather suffer here horrible miseries than enjoy in the worldly, material world. Swarga suk, Gandharva suk, Swarga suk, Jana suk. All these happinesses of Gandharva loka and happinesses of Swarga loka. I don't care a fig, but I love my Vrindavan. The author of this book is the only person that can really wear a t-shirt that says, I love Vrindavan. Everyone wears a t-shirt, I love Vrindavan. Dancing around the streets of Paris and London. Dancing in a disco with your boyfriend, I love Vrindavan. Nice thought. But as they say in English, actions speak louder than words. You can say anything, you can think anything, but what are you doing? I'm not a gunda, really, believe me. The guy's in, the godfather of the mafia. So actions are speaking differently than his words. Walk your talk. Talk your walk also. Talk while you walk. A devotee walks his talk and talks while he walks. Now, how do you like that? And what does he talk about? Girls, boys, sports, cricket, fashion, movies, travel, exciting places he went to and exciting places he wants to go to. And, oh, no. He talks about Krishna, Radha. He walks his talk, he's achar, he's behaving properly as a sattvic person, a devotee person. So his achar, he's walking his talk, he talks to people, live a pure life, follow these 4 principles. He talks that and he walks it, he does it. But then while he's walking, he talks. When Prabhupada went on morning walks, he talked. Prabhupada walked his talk and talked his walks. So Prabhupada is the origin of walking your talk and talking your walk, talking your walks. Because when he's walking, he's chanting Hare Krishna. Or in Prabhupada's case, he was going on a morning walk, japa walk. He was chanting japa. Mostly he was preaching. He was preaching while he was walking. You hear a stick. If you listen to his morning walk tapes, he's walking in a park. Dum, dum. His stick is hitting the ground or the pavement of some sidewalk in the park or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Chum, 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 chum. When I hear that sound of Prabhupada's stick, or his cane rather, clicking on the ground, it reminds me of the seconds of a clock, an old-fashioned clock. Dun, dun, dun. And every time I hear those Prabhupada's cane making that sound, I think, oh, my guru is counting my seconds. The sound of this cane is the counting of the seconds of the disciple's clock. The guru sets the disciple's clock. The guru winds up the clock. And the guru is the second hand, second by second. Tum, 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 tum. Are you thinking of me? Tum, tum, tum. Are you thinking of Krishna? Tum, tum, tum. Are you chanting Hare Krishna? Tum, tum, tum. Are you remembering Radha and Krishna? Tum, tum, tum. (62) Kurvat yapi maha rodram upadravam anukshanam bhaktir vrindatavi satve tatvek shata sadastume. Even if the Brijbasis constantly disturb me, may my mind, having realized the truth, remain eternally devoted to them. Very good. So they can beat me, ridicule me, anything, but I'll always remain eternally devoted to them. That's amazing. So the verse that we mentioned for the Brijbasis, which was, what was it? 463 is this verse. This is called Chintamani Thieves. The title of this verse is Chintamani Thieves. Chores. 63. Huh? You're there?
Yes.
Read it together. Samasta Purushartanam Chintamanaya Evate Shri Shari Mrigya Samsparsha Jai Vrindavana Karpara. Even if the dacoits of Vrindavan, are like Chintamani, touchstones that bestow the goals of life. They give the goal of life. Personalities like Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi desire the touch of the Gundas. Now that's really stretching things out. This great pure devotee, eternal associate of the Lord, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, who is Tunga Vidya Sakhi, Tunga Vidya Sakhi, one of the Ashtasakis of Radharani. He is praying such an intense glorification that dacoits are Chintamani. And even Lakshmi Narayan want to touch that Chintamani. Chintamani prakara sadma shukapa riksha laksha vrteshu sudrabhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satasam brahma sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham jami. This verse is describing Vaikuntha. Lakshmi and Narayan, Lakshmi and Vishnu are walking on the Chintamani gems of the earth, of the surface of the planet of Vaikuntha. Narayana Loka, Vishnu Loka is not covered with earth. It's covered with Chintamani gems, Chintamani Bhumi. They're walking everywhere. There's Chintamani gems in all directions. And they're walking on them and seeing them glittering and shining. But do they want to touch those Chintamanis? They're touching them, but no. They want to touch the Chintamani thieves. The Chintamani thieves, the Chintamani chores. Chintamani chores of Braj. They desire their touch. Because they're so purifying and they have Braj Bhav and Radha Bhav. Extraordinary. So this is a verse to exalt and glorify the extraordinary position of the Brijbasi human beings, that they can beat me and ridicule me, and still I will always be devoted to them. And I may suffer so much trying to become a Brijbasi. I'm trying to live here, and I'm a city walla. I'm from Mayanagari. Mayanagari, Bombay, Mayanagari. This is Vrindavan, and even the dacoits are Chintamani. When they come to rob your house, and try to remember that. Now this is chapter 1, verse 65. This is page 24. This is about there's no faults. The Brijbasis don't have any faults. Don't think there's any faults in the Brijbasis. Like Jesus said, before you see something like, before you see the faults in another, take the cinder out of your own eye first. There's like cinders, like a piece of spark. When there's a coal fire, coal cinders are these little black particles that get all over the place when you take an old-fashioned train. When I first came to India, these steam engines. So coal engines make all this smoke, and all black particles, carbon, solid carbon falls. So it's like a cinder gets in your eye. So let's look at this verse. Sri Matre Matri Buddhi Stira Chara Nakila Prani Supasya Budir. Bayang Seshtarta Labeshvapi Ridaya Mukamilani Kridhani Buddhi. Deyastri Vitaputradi Shu Nahi Mama Dhira Mitra Buddhi Swashatrushu, meaning to your own enemies. Apidayam Samastat Sukamatir Amit Ananda Vrindavanastu, Amit Anand. Accepting all women as mother and all animate and inanimate living entities as worshipable objects. Let my heart not deviate when I achieve great wealth. Let the conception of I and mine in regard to my body, my wife, my children, and my wealth disappear. Let me treat my enemies as my friends, even though they give me great trouble. And in this way may I always happily live in the most blissful, unlimited abode of Vrindavan. Amit Ananda. So this is about the Brijvasis. They can do no wrong. Let me just stay here, give up my own false conceptions. My real enemies are my false conceptions. My real enemy is my ahankar. I and mine. I am this body and these are my possessions. My driver, my car, my clothes, my body, my husband. Everything belongs to God. It's God's husband. Your husband is Krishna Das. So he's property of the master. The master owns the animal. The animal is the das of the master. So that the husband is Krishna Das. He belongs to Krishna. He's not my servant, he's Krishna's servant. Wife is Krishna Dasi. She's not my wife. Hey, Krishna, what do you, it's my servant. And somebody comes in your house and tells your servant, come with me, come to my house. Hey, wait, this is my servant. No, he's my servant. No, get lost. So Krishna's thinking, what are all these fools? These are my parts and parcels. All these women are my servants. All these men are my servants. And all these foolish men are saying, this is my wife. Or my daughter. You're my daughter, you should serve me. No, you're Krishna's daughter. You should serve him. Let me help you serve him. So any idea other than that? Viparita buddhi. Viparita buddhi. Upside down intelligence.
Was too big.
No.
This
Increase
has
it.
to disappear. These are my real enemies. False attachments are my enemies.
No,
It was short. Increase the height a little bit.
Next verse, 2:16. These are all verses about the Brijvasis, or trying to be a Brijvasi. What is it? Page 44. If you have the book, it's nice. Vrindavan Mahimamrita. This is all about brothers and boga and bhukta. Interesting, the Sanskrit word for brother is bratar. See it? Bratar. What is it in English? Broder. Very similar. Bratar boga subhukta kim ihana. Is that right? Bhavata napi samsara madhye. Vidya dan advaradye kati jagati. Kyati pujadya labda. Adyahare pi yadritshika urugunavan apyaho samvritatma. Shrimad Vrindavane svin satatamaha ata sake sarvato mukha sangha. Oh, that's very nice. Shrimad Vrindavane svin satatam ata sake sarvato mukha sangha. Srimad svin satatam sake sarvato sangha. Sa. Oh, brother! What kind of material happiness have you not enjoyed in this material world? Have you not achieved? Have you not received plenty of name, fame, and adoration? by the performance of sacrifices, by your giving of charity, and by your acquiring knowledge in this world, be satisfied with whatever food you get without much endeavor, and see the good in others. In this way, conceal your own mind and wander about the land of Vrindavan. Verse about just forget it. Whatever you wander around Vrindavan, do Madhukari. Whatever food you get without much endeavor. Well, every single bite that we eat, we have to endeavor so much. Everybody in the world is working their tails off to get something to eat, isn't it? It's all about food. And everything that it does. No food, no energy, no sex life. Simple as that. Don't eat for 5 days and then bring some guy doesn't eat for 7 days and you bring him a beautiful girl. Here, have a good time. Oh, can you bring me something to eat first? No food, no energy, no enjoyment. So the bottom line is food. Food makes it work. No petrol, where do you go in your Maserati? Where do you go in your BMW with an empty tank of gas? Hey, look, this is 8.35i. 8.35i means I'm it. Now I'm ready to roll, 300 kilometers per hour. 320 kilometers per hour. You ready? Great, let's go. Oh, we have no petrol. So food is a basis. So he's saying, so everyone is doing the opposite. They're working day and night to get some money to buy a roti. That's where it all starts from. No roti, nothing. No fun and games, nothing. So he's saying, forget it. Just come to Vrindavan, wander around. And do a little Madhukari. Radhe Radhe, Maya, Radhe Radhe. Acha, Are Baba. Hey Baba, take roti lao. Acha, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe, Maya. Radhe Radhe, Baba. Like this. Who can do? But the idea is nice. Very nice idea. Free from the fetters of the material tabernacle called Maya. 271. Page 64. Oh wow, this is really this devotee has a very broad mind, and he really wants us to stretch our gratitude to the greatest extent, and stretch our appreciation to infinite levels, and tolerance to infinite levels, and respect to infinite levels. As you read these verses, you can see that the king can do no wrong, they say in a kingdom, because the king makes the laws, he can break the laws. He says, hey, in this kingdom, you can only have 2 wives. The king has 200. So he says, hey, what is this? And then you take 3. And then the word gets out, hey, so-and-so has 3. And the king says, what is this? 3 wives? Give me that. Give me that 3rd one. And then the guy says, hey, you got 200. And then that's all you ever say after that. Your head is cut off. And then you not only lose your 1 extra wife, and you lose your other 2. You lose your head plus your 2 wives that you were allowed, and your extra one you stole. Now you lost your head plus your 3 wives. So the king can do no wrong. So that same law he's trying to make us understand we should apply to the Brijbasis. That's a little hard to go that full distance unless you're Premi Bhakta, I suppose. Can't imitate the vision of the great souls. It's called Anusharan, Anukaran. You can appreciate and hold their realizations above our head and worship their realizations and respect their realizations and serve them and serve their teachings of the lower order, because math has many levels of mathematics teaching. So same thing with spirituality or spiritual, there's many levels, different hierarchy for different levels of devotees. So the highest devotees are seeing things with the highest vision and the greatest all-encompassing, all-inclusive love. So they really, like this verse says, let's read it. Paradara vitaharishu satyupadeshe mahapariharshu cha nahi vrindavana vashisu doshyam pashyanti chid ganesha dhira. Even if the transcendental resonance of Vrindavan, the transcendental Brijvasis, and they enjoy intimate association with others' wives, they plunder others' wealth, or they torture others on any pretext, a sober person never finds fault in them. Well, you have to be really sober. Dhira, says Dhira, dosham pashyanti chid ganeshu, Dhira. They never, chid ganeshu, you don't know, there's so many faults, but you don't see them. This
Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekam Bhagavatam Aravindanayatacham Bhagavatam Samasitam Gunasundaram Kandato Kamajya Visheshasobham Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Anvaliya Shasana Priya Priti Panti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Dhira Bhakanti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Tara Vedarasya Govindam Hare Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Hare Purusham
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya, Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Deity.
Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Prasthaya Nirvishesha Asutravani Astra
Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prasthaya, Nirvishesha Asutravani, Asakari Sattva.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Bhakti
Shri Krishna Nityananda, Shri Advaita
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Devasari Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita
Gadadhara Devasari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Take this one. Okay. Thank you very much.
Krishna Krishna.
Delicious preparation. We
Great.
also have delicious things. Varieties of delicious things.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Isa Mahamra Vaisisa Solar Station Prabhupada. Jai.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Please accept our humble
Okay.
obeisances.
Thank you. How is your body?
Doing good.
Huh? You're not going to
Okay.
see the doctor?
Yes. On 24th.
Mm. Okay. Wish you the best. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Shila
Thank
Gurudev.
you.
Dandat Pranam.
Hare
Accept my
Krishna.
humble obeisance at your divine lotus feet, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Shashila Gurudev. Isa Prashkula Vaisisa.
We are going for Bhagavatam class, Krishna Balaram, after heavy feasting.
Jai.
See you later.
Hare Krishna.